April the 4th, 1970. Gulf Aviation's Flight 004 moves out from London's Heathrow Airport at the start of a 3,200-mile flight to the island state of Bahrain. For one of the world's busiest airports, it's just another departure. But for the people of Bahrain, another step along the road to prosperity. Through their hard work and adaptability, they have made Bahrain one of the most stable and progressive countries in the Middle East. They're having an industrial revolution that's been gathering momentum over the last 10 years. This takeoff from Heathrow reflects the rising international confidence in the island's future. Confidence in a country on the move. Bahrain is an independent state lying in a key position in the Gulf. Thousands of years ago, the Sumerians called the island Dilmun and thought of it as the earthly paradise. Today, Bahrain is a progressive, modern country. Only 30 miles long and 10 miles wide, it is one of the most advanced countries in the Gulf area. Proudly Arab, Bahrain has a population of more than 200,000, of which 85% are Bahrainis. People from more than 30 different countries make up the remaining 15%. This stable mixture of races, plus the use of English as the island's second language, makes Bahrain an unusually outward-looking state, a state with its eye constantly on international trade and understanding. Bahrain's internationalism is most obvious at the airport. It's the headquarters of Gulf Aviation, an airline that has been operating out of Bahrain for more than 20 years. Its aircraft range from this sophisticated BAC-111, providing fast modern air travel in the Gulf area, to light aircraft available on hire or charter and used mainly by the oil industry. They also operate F-27s, specially modified for freight as well as passenger work. In addition, Gulf Aviation provides airport services for the growing number of international airlines that have made Bahrain the center of their east-west routes. Each week, more than 60 international flights call here. 14 fly west to London and the rest of Europe. 7 go to the Far East and Australia. There are daily flights to India, Pakistan, and most Middle East countries. The airport is keeping pace with the accelerating development of aviation. The runway is being extended, ready for the arrival of the first Boeing 747 jumbo jets in 1971 at a cost of over £2 million. Bahrain, with its new network of taxiways and aircraft parks, will be the first airport in the Gulf fully geared for the jumbo jet age. New airport buildings costing an additional £4 million are already under construction. In them, 2 747s with a total of 700 passengers will be handled simultaneously. They will be serviced and ready for takeoff within 40 minutes of landing. Developments in the growing air freight field have not been forgotten. The new buildings will be equipped to unload containerized goods quickly for transshipment to other places in the Gulf by smaller aircraft. Bahrain is a natural entrepot for the rest of the Gulf, and this new deep-water harbour at Mina Sulman, which is being enlarged to take 8 ships at a time, is handling an ever-increasing portion of the area's trade. Sulman is claimed, with justification, to be the most efficient port in the Gulf. There's no congestion, and delays are few and far between. Since it was opened in 1961, no surcharge has been imposed by shipping companies for cargoes landed. A tangible vote of confidence. Bahrain's hotel industry is being actively encouraged by the island's new tourist board. Hotels of international standard are being built to satisfy the growing demands from businessmen and tourists and the increasing use of Bahrain as a center for Middle East trade conferences. Plans for a major extension that will double the number of rooms available were being drawn up less than 12 months after the opening of the new Gulf Hotel. The hotel, which has 130 rooms, is owned half by Gulf Aviation and half by 700 local shareholders. Soon, these fishing boats will have moved to another anchorage. In their place, on land reclaimed from the sea, will rise the Bahrain Hilton. There will be room for 500 people, and Bahrainis will be training for responsible jobs long before the hotel is completed. Government House also stands on reclaimed land. People living nearby dubbed it the White House, as it rose gleaming from the sea. Built by Bahrainis, the Government House in many ways typifies the country's determination to be in the forefront of development and yet retain its own distinctive stamp. Government House is the center of the island's administration, and it's the meeting place of the State Council, under the presidency of Sheikh Khalifa bin Sulman Al Khalifa. The council is made up of all the heads of government departments, and it includes Bahrain's heir apparent, Sheikh Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Always high on the agenda at council meetings are ways of encouraging still more industrial development. Development which began in 1932 when a drilling rig owned by the Bahrain Petroleum Company, BAPCO, struck oil in the island's central desert. It was the first oil find in the southern half of the Gulf. In 1934, the first shipment of crude oil established the basis of a new and flourishing economy. A year later, work started on a 10,000 barrel a day refinery. Today, it's one of the largest refineries in the Middle East, with an output well over 205,000 barrels. It refines Bahrain's daily output of 75,000 barrels of crude oil, plus another 130,000 from Saudi Arabia. In the early days of the oil industry, experts came from other countries because they had skills the Bahrainis did not possess. Today, the expatriate technician is vanishing fast. 90% of BAPCO's 5,000 employees are now Bahrainis. Given the chance to learn new techniques, they respond enthusiastically, and now they have become expatriate experts in other Middle Eastern countries. But the future depends on the island's children, and the government allocates more than a quarter of its budget to education. Bahrain has more than 100 schools and over 2,000 teachers. Almost a quarter of the country's 200,000 people are currently attending one of the free government schools. The average number of children in a class is less than 25. As well as skilled craftsmen, Bahrain's education system has produced engineers, lawyers, chemists, and doctors to help staff the island's hospitals. The Free Health Service takes 22% of the national budget. It provides 90 doctors and clinics to serve outlying areas.